Hi there, I'm Will. This is Mike. We're the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And welcome again to Warhammer 40k Conquest, where we look at the magazine and play the games that come with it. As usual, if you want to skip ahead, there's a timestamp in the description below to get you straight to the game. With this issue, we got our first set of Ryza-pattern Ruins, which, as you can see on your screen, are mechanical industrial style ruins, very chunky. Inside the magazine, we have information about the Primarchs, the Emperor's lieutenants, who commanded his legions. This is theoretically 20 of them, although 2 of them, we don't know who they were, and one of them was twins. Then we've got chapter planets of the Space Marines, and there are some, you see these little icons here are different chapters and where their homeworlds are in the galaxy. Yeah, and there's some more here, and some names of some chapters. The Silver Templars I mentioned here, Novaris, was actually on the previous page, but Heralds of Nurgle are basically demon leaders, sort of minor leaders of Nurgle demons, just sort of slightly stronger versions of Plague Bearers, which we've learnt about before. Poxbringers being a type of Herald of Nurgle. And City of the Dead here is a little bit of fiction about the Imperial Fists chapter fighting against the forces of Khorne. So that's the World Eaters, Chaos Space Marines and Demon allies. Then we have building instructions for the Ryza-pattern Ruins. Then they fit together like so. Now I believe you don't have to glue them if you don't want to, and in theory they can be reconfigured in a couple of different ways. But
you can, but the pre-printed ones are set up, look like how they're set up there in the building instructions.
Yes, so the ones on the board, which you will have seen, of course, in our missions. You can make them differently, but if you do, they won't work on the board. And painting, paint them black, and then paint in all the silver and gold bits, pretty much.
Dry brush them grey.
Dry brush them grey. So they end up looking like that. I think you did them not quite as bright as that. You used different coloured gold, didn't you?
Yes, I used Balthazar gold because it's more of a brass colour than Richter armour.
Yeah, because it comes out really quite bright, as you see here, if you use the colours they've given you in the magazine. And then our new rules this week are about ruins and how they function on our battle map. So we're going to get onto that in the game that is to come.
So, before we head into our mission for this issue, we've actually got some new rules to learn about. So now we've got now at this point you've finally got some models for the ruins. You can see here, it's marked out parts of the map. This is area terrain, so essentially if you're in one of these areas, you get the benefit of cover even if you're not completely obscured by a wall. So there's actually a lot more cover on the map now. And also gives some rules here about moving through ruins. So infantry can move through ruined walls without any penalty because it's assumed that they just hop through windows and through doors and things. Although if they want to move up a floor or down a floor, they still have to measure movement, although there isn't really an upper floor of these. And vehicles can't move through ruined walls and things, and it also gives other unit types that can go up and down floors. Another thing to notice, and here it gives an example of how the cover works. So the entire unit has to be in the cover zone to get the benefit of cover. As you can see, this Poxwalker is outside, so the Poxwalkers don't get the benefit of cover. And vehicles now get the benefit of cover from the ruins, as long as they're more than 50% obscured. So as you can see in this example, the Blight Hauler is not 50% obscured. And there's even more rules here, although these are more optional rules. So you've got rules for a campaign based on the battles for Barachias. So like how the Reaver missions we've done before, where the one mission led into the other, this one is more like a series of battles over this map. So you see here we have this map, and presumably you do it and then whoever got the most victories won. So there's 11 different locations. And you can see they're marked with symbols here. This represents different territories. So they've got the Death Guard territory down here, Ultramarines or Silver Templars in our case up here, and everything else is contested territory. This is relevant because if you're fighting in specific territories, you get specific rules. So we are going to use these, although it says here that so you start in a contested territory and then the winner decides where the next place is. We're just going to roll randomly, and I guess whoever wins the most battles by the end of this series of issues will win the campaign overall. We'll go over the rules when they come up, but to note here is that in contested territory, once per battle, at the start of the shooting phase, a player may choose a unit, and all shots fired by this unit in the shooting phase ignore the cover save bonus, so you can sort of pick people off in cover a bit easier. But now, and we'll finally get into the mission for this issue, Escalation. So this is the fighting is still going on, still fighting for the capital city, Barachias. So in this battle you can see we've got 2 deployment zones, one either end of the map. And before we start deploying we need to roll off, and then whoever wins gets to place an objective first. So we each place an objective. An objective has to be more than 6 inches away from either deployment zone and more than 6 inches away from any other objectives. Then we have to roll off again, and the winner decides which deployment zone they want, and the other player gets the opposite one. And then we take turns deploying units, starting with the player who chose the deployment, and then the player who did not get to choose their deployment zone decides whether they want to go first or second. And our victory conditions here: so you get 1 victory point for each enemy unit eliminated. The first player to eliminate an enemy unit gets an extra victory point, so first blood. And each objective is worth 3 victory points at the end of the game. The game lasts for 5 battle rounds. So we'll go into the army overviews, and then we'll head into the roll-off for placing objectives. Here's our Space Marine army for this mission. We have the Librarian, 5 Reavers, 3 Hellblasters, 5 Intercessors, and the Redemptor Dreadnought. So here's our Death Guard army for this mission. We have the Foul Blight Spawn, the Biologist Putrefier, the Tainted Cohort, 5 Plague Marines, and the Chaos Rhino. So we're rolling off to see who places their objective first. I got a 4.
I also got a 4.
Keep going. 5.
Yeah, what?
So I place my objective first. So I've decided to put my objective roughly in the middle of the board in this crater, or at least equidistant from both deployment zones.
Well, I put mine there, so pretty much on the other side of the board in the same place.
Yep, so both objectives have been placed. We're going to roll off to see who chooses deployment zones. Oh, got a 6.
I've got a 3.
So I get to choose deployment zones, which means you get to choose who goes first or second though. So I've decided I will pick this deployment zone because there's area cover over here and area cover down here, and the ammo boxes, which means that the Death Guard get this deployment zone. So there's my first deployment. I've deployed the Intercessors, and they all get cover from this, from being in the grey square. So Death Guard deployment.
I'm going to take the Tainted Cohort and I'm going to put them in the Teleportarium.
For my second deployment, I've deployed the Reavers at the opposite side of the board to the Intercessors.
My second choice, I've put Plague Marines down over here behind this pipe.
Yeah, so the cover from pipes still works as it did normally. It's just the ruins that give you area cover. So this area, that area, and then this little corner here. And for my third deployment, I've put the Dreadnought just in the road there.
And then I've deployed the Rhino here, and actually in the Foul Blight Spawn and the Biologist Putrefier are both inside it. So I'll keep them off the board for now. But that's all my deployment done because of that.
So I've finished deploying. I've put the Librarian down here between the Reavers and the Dreadnought, and the Hellblasters are over there behind the Intercessors. So now you get to pick who goes first or second.
I think I will go first, please.
Okay, so we'll head into Death Guard, turn 1.
So my movement, the Rhino's moved up to here, not moving its full distance, but just there. Plague Marines have moved up behind the pipe. And then my Terminators have come in over here in the end of my movement phase. So on to the shooting phase. Start shooting with the Plague Marines. They're going to put everything into the Dreadnought. They're all just about within 24 inches of it, which is their range. So we've got 2 Blight Launchers with Assault 2.
Hitting on 3s.
Wow, okay. 4 hits, wounding on 5.
Blimey.
Okay, that's 2 wounds.
5 plus armour saves.
Oh,
Phew.
oh well, that was a lot of good rolling
Yeah.
all round. Plasma gun not supercharging, only 1 shot at this range. It hit, it wounds on a 4 because it's not supercharged. 6 plus.
6 plus.
Yeah.
Oh,
And 2 botgun shots. Both
Blimey.
hit. All the 6s. Double 6 again? What's going
3
on?
plus. It takes a wound.
Oh wow, the bolt gun did it.
Get down to 12 wounds.
After that, we're going to shoot all the Rhino's guns at the Hellblasters.
Okay.
So we'll do the Combi Belter. It's not within 12 inches. Sorry, yeah, it's not within 12 inches, which is rapid fire range for it. So it's only 2
It
shots.
doesn't have a...
Doesn't have inexorable advance. It got 2 hits though, wounding on 4s. 1 wound and you're in cover.
2 plus.
Area terrain. Yeah.
Wound. And the...
Havoc launcher. Hit D6 shots. 2 hitting on 4s because it moved. 2 hits, wounding on 3s. Yep, 2 wounds.
2 plus armor saves. Made both.
And I'm going to do the Tainted Cohort Terminators. They're going to shoot everything at the Reavers because the Reavers are within 18 inches.
Yes, so the rules that we have for the area terrain, it doesn't say that they replace the rules for intervening cover like we've been using before, so technically all the Reavers are in cover from this part of the ruin, even though they're not actually in the area terrain.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that is meant to be the case, but we've agreed that that's the case.
Yeah, it doesn't say to the contrary in the magazine.
And
So
I personally think it makes the game more interesting to play it that way. I don't know about you, but...
So 8 shots hitting on 3s, 6 hits, moving on 4s, 2 wounds.
2+ armor saves. Oh, Reaver goes down. I'll take that guy off the end.
But that's it for my shooting. Obviously no charging.
Yep, so on to Space Marines turn 1. So I've done my movement. The Reavers have moved up into this area terrain. The Dreadnought has moved up its 8 inches down the road, and the Librarian has followed behind, while the 2 squads in the ruins have moved up their 6 inches, so they're just both within 2 inches of this ammo box. And that intercessor at the end had to shuffle in a bit just to stay within cover, because the area terrain is just the dark grey bit, not the light grey bit around it. So movement over onto the psychic phase. Maybe the Librarian can redeem himself from his poor performance the last time he showed up. So he's going to try and manifest Smite. It will hit the Tainted Cohort if he gets it off on a 5. Ooh, a 10 is almost the big one. D3 mortal wounds, 1.
Which has gone through, so we will put a wound on the man with Plague Spewer.
And then he will try to manifest Veil of Time on the Dreadnought. Needs a 6. Gets a Perils. Takes a mortal wound. Down to 4. So in the shooting phase we'll start with the Hellblasters. They're going to overcharge at the Rhino. And they can re-roll 1s because they're within 2 inches of that ammo box. Yeah, so I'll start with the Sergeant. 2 shots, hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. He gets 1 hit, and then number 1 gets 2 hits. Hellblaster number 2 gets a miss. He blows up. He'll go down. Wounding on 3s, because it's strength 8 against toughness 7. 2 wounds, so that's 4 damage.
Yeah.
Down to 6. And then we'll do the Intercessors next. They're all going to rapid fire into the Rhino, I guess, because they're not within rapid fire range of the Plague Marines. So we have 10 shots, hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. So there was a miss there, that got knocked over, so that's 9 hits. Wounding on 5s, because it's toughness 7. There's 3 wounds.
So 4+ armor save. Oh dear, oh dear.
Down, takes 3 damage.
Good.
We'll do the Reavers next. Sarge is the only one in range. He'll fire his bolt pistol at the Terminators. 1 shot hitting on a 3. Yeah, he missed. And then the Dreadnought. I'll put everything into the Rhino. Try and kill it off. We'll start with the Frag Storm Grenade Launchers. 2d6 shots. 5. Hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. 3 hits. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds.
3+ save. Failed another one.
That's down to 2. And then the Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon. 12 shots, hitting on 4s because we moved. Re-rolling 1s because ammo boxes. Oh, that was another one. So that is 6 hits. Wounding on 5s again because strength 5. 3 wounds, minus 1 AP.
4+. Oh, finally can make some armor
So
saves.
it's down to 1.
Yeah.
And then that's all my shooting. The Librarian's not in range of anyone. In the charge phase, the Dreadnought will declare a charge on the Rhino.
So the Combi Bolter, it's within 12 inches, so hitting on 6s, 1 hit, wounding on 5, no, and d6 shots from Havoc Launcher, 1, hitting on 6, no.
9-inch charge.
Yeah.
Yes. So there, the Rhino has completed its charge. Dreadnought, sorry. Charge the Rhino. I can successfully charge the Rhino, so it will pile in, can get to there.
Yeah.
4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3 hits, wounding on 2s because it's strength 14 against toughness 7.
Yep.
3 wounds, 3 6+ armor saves.
666. Oh, 1 6 note, so
it takes 9 wounds.
Okay. So sorry, we rolled to see if it explode. We rolled a 4, so it doesn't explode. So these 2 guys have to disembark within 3 inches of the Rhino. I'm going to put them both on top of the pipe there, so I'll put them in front of it, but they're on top of the pipe. Now what happens is I roll 2 dice, because there were 2 models in the Rhino, and any 1s, they just die. Okay, so no 1s please. Phew. They're okay, and now the Rhino goes away. And then the Dreadnought can consolidate.
The Foul Blight Spawn is the closest unit, because he is on top of the pipe technically, so the Dreadnought will consolidate into... I think you can get both of them within an inch, because they're both next to each other.
I didn't think of that. But that does mean they get to hit him.
Yep. There's also a victory point, 2 victory points, one for killing the rhino and another for first blood.
Yeah. So we've got some attacks on the Dreadnought. We'll start with the Foul Blight Spawn. 3 attacks hitting on 3s, 2 hits, wounding on 5s, a wound.
3+ armor save, Dreadnought's fine.
And the Biolog's Putrefier, 1 hit, but Death of the False Emperor gets another hit, wounding on 5s.
Rerolling 1s.
You've got a wound.
3+ armor save. Yep. And that's the end of Space Marines turn 1. On to Death Guard turn 2.
So in my movement phase, the Terminators have moved up. They're 4 inches towards the objective. The Plague Marines have run away from the Dreadnought. They can move freely through this wall now that we have those rules for them, so they just come through there and slow them down so much. And these 2 characters fell back. An inch to get off the pipe, and then 4 inches takes them to there. And they can't do anything further this turn, basically. Terminators will shoot everything at the Reavers, because they can't, the Librarians.
The closest unit.
Yeah, and I'm going to use my Ignoring Cover.
Yes, so that's the rules for contested territory in the campaign. So the Reavers will not get the cover bonus.
Yeah, I can do this once per game. The Plague Spewer gets 2 hits, which wound on 3s, rerolling 1s, that's 2 wounds.
So that's 4+ armor saves, because we don't get the cover bonus. Made 1, so a Reaver takes a wound. Put it on this chappy at the back.
And then we've got all the Combi Bolters, 8 shots hitting on 3s, 6 hits, wounding on 4s. No, they're not because they're good at wounding again.
And 2 3+ armor saves. Failed 1, so another Reaver goes down. Wounded man off the back.
And then we've got the Plague Marines, and they'll shoot everything at the Dreadnought because we need to do some damage to it.
Okay.
So we'll start with the Blight Launchers again. Not so good this time, only 2 hits, wounding on 5s. Nope, double 2. Plasma Gun, not supercharging, not yet. Oh, should have supercharged,
yep.
2 hits, wounding on 4s. One wound.
6+ armor save. Nope. So it's down to 11 wounds.
And then 4 Bark on shots, moved out of grenade range, unfortunately. 4 hits, wounding on 5s.
That's a wound.
Yeah, okay, that's 1 wound.
3+ armor save. No.
Oh.
Down to 10.
And that's it for my shooting phase.
On to the charge phase.
The Terminator will charge both units.
Okay, so the Reavers will overwatch. Yeah, not within 6 inches, so we got 3 pistol shots. Hitting on 6s. 1 hit, wounding on a 5. It wounds.
3+? Yes.
And then the Librarian will also fire his pistol at the Terminators. Well, rolled the wrong colour dice, but it was a miss.
And then their charge distance. Ooh, 10.
Yeah, that's definitely enough to get them in. All going after the Librarian.
So the Terminators get to strike. They're actually going to pile in like that. Bubotic Axe, 2 attacks hitting on 3s. 1 hit, wounding on a 3. Yes, and that's -3 AP for 6 wounds.
6+. No, so Librarian goes down to 3 wounds.
Bale Sword. Ooh, 2 hits and Death of the False Emperor. No, it's not going to go. Yep, 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. That's a -4 and a -3.
So 1 wound and then a 6+ armor save, which he didn't make. So it's down to 2 wounds. Down to 1, sorry. And then the
man with no melee weapon. 2 attacks, 2 hits, wounding on 4s, 2 wounds, 2 3+.
2 3+s. No, the Librarian goes down. Victory point for the Death Guard.
And then this guy has enough Consolidate move to get into combat with the Hellblaster Sergeant. Yeah, he can go this way, so so that's maintaining coherency.
Yeah.
But bringing them into combat so you can strike with them.
So I've got 5 attacks from the Hellblasters, hitting on 3s. 3 hits, wounding on 5s, 2 wounds.
And we'll fear the Hellblasters in melee. No, pass my saves.
Fine. So that's Death Guard turn 2. On to Space Marines turn 2. So here I've completed my movement. The Reavers have just moved up a little bit. The Dreadnought has come back to be near the Terminators, hopefully to charge them. The Intercessors have moved out to face the 2 characters, and the Hellblasters have fallen back to here next to the ammo boxes. So the Librarian died, so no psychic phase, on to the shooting phase. We'll start with the Reavers. We'll throw a shock grenade at the Terminators and then put 2 pistol shots into them. So the shock grenade, D3 shots, 3, hitting on a 3.
Yep.
There's 3 hits, but yep, they are affected by the shock grenade. And 2 pistol shots, you get a hit. It doesn't wound. So they do the Hellblasters next. They can both see Terminators. I'm not going to overcharge. So we have 4 shots hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s, re-rolling the 1, Still, only one hit. Wounds on a 3. Doesn't wound. And the intercessors. So we're going to put all of our shots into the foul blight spawn. So one guy will throw a grenade and the other one sort of fire their bolt rifles at him. So the grenade, hitting on a 3, rerolling 1s. It hits, wounding on a 3. It wounds.
Didn't make my save.
D3 damage. 2.
2 damage.
So he's down to 2 wounds. And then 8 bolt rifle shots. Rerolling 1s. But there's no 1s. Oh, I rolled 1 too few dice. Because I got 2 misses and there were 5 hits, so I'll roll another one. That's another hit. 6 hits, wounding on 5s. I'll get it in the box eventually. No wounds. And the Dreadnought, he's going to put everything into the Terminators. So I'll start with the Heavy Flamer. D6 automatic hits. 2. Wounding on 4s. 1 wound. 3 plus.
Past that.
2d6 frag storm shots. 9. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. 2 1s to reroll there. 7 hits. Wounding on 5s. 4 wounds.
2 plus armor save. All failed once, so disgustingly resilient. Yes, I've made that.
And the Onslaught Gatling Cannon. 12 shots hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. That's a lot of 2s. But it's going to be 7 hits in total. Wounding on 4s. 4 wounds.
3 plus armor. Oh, made all.
Okay. So on to the charge phase. Start with the Dreadnought. Going to charge the
Yep. No,
Terminators. No Overwatch because of shock grenades. Don't roll too low. And 11 is easily enough. I guess the Reavers will charge them as well.
Okay.
They'll have to go over the pipe. 7 inches is enough to get them in. Go like that. Then the Intercessors will declare a charge on the Barachias Putrefier.
He will overwatch with a
Hyper Blight
grenade. So d6 shots. 1. It hits on 6. Nope.
So they're going to declare a charge. They're in.
Yeah, you just stay an inch away from him.
Like that.
Obviously, we know what's going to happen next.
These guys do not count as charging because he smells really bad. But I'll start with the Reavers.
Yeah.
So they might kill off that wounded Terminator. 10 attacks hitting on 3s. 9 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound. All those 4s.
2 plus. Yes.
And then the Dreadnought has 4 attacks hitting on 3s. 3 hits. Wounding on 2s. 3 wounds.
4 plus invulnerable saves even against this.
Charge is over. It's down to the pick. So the Intercessors will pile in. These 4 can all fight the Barachias Putrefier. So that's 9 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Well, we can certainly hit well. 7 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound.
And made my save.
Yep. So the Intercessors are just going to consolidate a little bit because these 2 aren't actually in base contact. So he'll consolidate around like that. So now you get to fight back.
We'll start over here. We'll start with the Barachias Putrefier. He has 3 attacks. Hitting on 3. 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. Rerolling 1s. No wounds from him. Foul Blight Spawn. 3 hits. And Death of the False Emperor. 4 hits. 4s again. But not rerolling 1s. He doesn't have a Plague Knife. And yeah, that's 1 wound.
3 plus armor save. No. Ugh.
And the Terminators need to pile in a bit to actually be able to hit something. This guy can only hit Dreadnought. Yeah, and I think we'll put everything on Dreadnought actually. Right, so we'll start with the Bubotic Axe.
Hitting at -1, so hitting on 4s. Shock grenade.
Oh yeah, so no Death of the False Emperor.
Yeah.
So 2 hits, but no Death of the False Emperor. And a wound and a rerolling 1, so 1 wound. 5 plus,
so
yes.
5 plus. No, Dreadnought goes down to 9.
The sword hitting on 4s, 1 hit, wounding on a 5, rerolling 1s though. Nope, and the guy without a melee weapon gets 2 hits.
1 hit. Yeah, 2 hits hitting 4s.
And a wound.
3 plus. Yeah. So that's the end of Space Marines turn 2. All locked in melee. On to Death Guard turn 3.
These 2 have fallen back. The Barachias Putrefier is actually on top of the pipe, didn't have enough movement to get over it, and then the Foul Blight Spawn is just about sort of tucked away in this corner, 1 inch away. Nothing more I can do with them. Plague Marines have moved up, they're now all in cover in this area ruin.
Yep.
And the Terminators fell back from melee. The only shooting we have is the Plague Marines.
And where are they going to shoot?
They'll shoot at the Reavers.
Yep.
So we'll start with the Blight Launchers.
Hitting on 3s.
Yep, so 2 hits, wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. That's 2 wounds.
5 plus armor saves because we don't have any cover. Made 1.
D3 damage, 3.
So Reaver goes down. Oh, yeah, that one.
Then Plasma Gun. Last time I regretted not supercharging, we're not going to do it. Oh, I should have supercharged it again. And yeah, oh, and it's still only 1 wound though.
6 plus. Nope, almost got 6, so regular Reaver will take wound.
And Bolt Guns will hit. Wounding on
That was
4.
a 2, wasn't it?
So there were 3 hits. Wounds, 2 wounds again.
Yeah. 2, 3 plus armor saves. And I failed one anyway, but so yeah, Reaver goes down.
Oh, it's long, but I think we're going to have to charge Sarge.
Okay, he will overwatch with his pistol. Oh, revenge. Got a hit. Nope, didn't wound.
And not going anywhere with that.
Yep.
That's it for my turn.
So yeah, on to Space Marines, turn 3. No real movement really. The Hellblasters are going to stay where they are. The Intercessors will stay where they are. The Reaver's just going to move around to be by the ammo box. And that's going to be it, I think. So, on to the shooting phase. So in the shooting phase, we'll start with the Hellblasters, and I will declare that they're getting the Ignore Cover bonus for this round. And we're going to shoot at the Plague Marines, because I don't think we can see the Terminators. So we'll start with Sergeant, overcharging, hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. 2 hits. And the other Hellblaster, 2 hits. So wounding on 3s. 4 wounds.
And they don't get cover, so they go straight through.
Yeah, so
2 damage apiece. So
yeah.
on the first guy, he dies, second, dies, third, dies, and 4th one dies because they ordered to make.
Yep.
So obviously the champion is going to be the only one left. Okay.
Then the Reaver will throw a shock grenade at the Terminators.
Okay.
D3 shots. 3. Hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. You got a hit. And then the Intercessors going to put all their shots at the Foul Blight spawn. And one will throw a grenade, the other 2 others will fire their bolt rifles. So grenade hitting on a 3. Hit. Wounding on a 3. Wounded.
Armor save. Passed.
8 bolt rifle shots. Hitting on 3s. No, not near the ammo box, but that's 5 hits. Wounding on 5s. 3 wounds.
4 plus. 1 goes through. Disgustingly resilient. Nope. Down to 1.
Down to 1. And the Dreadnought will put everything into the Terminators.
Okay.
So, start with Heavy Flamer. D6 automatic hits. 5. Wounding on 4s. Nothing at all. That was terrible. Fragstorm grenade launchers, 2d6 shots. 11 shots with the grenade launchers. 11 shots hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. You're rolling all the 1s. That's 10 hits. Wounding on 5s. 3 wounds.
2 plus. Yep.
Yep. And the Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon. Hitting on 3s because we didn't move. Re-rolling 1s because ammo boxes. Good job, there's ammo boxes. Re-rolling the 1s. Turns into 3 more hits, so that's 11 hits for the Onslaught Gatling Cannon. Wounding on 4s because it's strength 5. 6 wounds. 3 plus armor save.
Yep. I failed 1.
Or might kill a Terminator.
Disgustingly resilient. Nope.
Yay! Kill the Terminator. On to the charge phase. Dreadnought will declare a charge on the Terminators. 8 is enough. Ugh. The Intercessors will declare a charge on the Barachias Putrefier.
He'll throw a Hyperlight Grenade 3 times, hitting on 6s. Oh, we got a hit. It wounds on a 4.
Yeah, strength 4.
It does, and it's 2 damage.
AP
But no,
0, but 2 damage. So 3 plus. No, an Intercessor.
Oh, it's the wounded one,
yeah,
so.
wounded man goes down. And then charge distance is 8. That's going to be enough. We're just going to go over the pipe, essentially, and just surround them.
Okay, so he's there, actually.
Although we have to be an inch away from the Foul Blight spawn, but...
Yeah.
So, charges, they don't count as charging because of smelly Foul Blight spawn. The Dreadnought will go first then.
Okay.
4 attacks. Hitting on 4s. 3s, sorry.
3s.
2 hits. Wounding on 2s. 1 wound.
Oh, I failed my thing there.
D6 damage. 6.
Yeah, that's only 5 dice, but...
Smushed.
So the Swordman.
And then he takes away the Swordman, but I'm just going to consolidate into the... And then it's my turn, so I get to pick next. So the Intercessors will go, and these 2 will pile into the Foul Blight spawn.
Yeah, so he can't attack.
Yeah. 7 attacks on the Barachias Putrefier. Hitting on 3s.
Ooh.
4 hits. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds.
And he's made his saves. Over here, the Barachias Putrefier hits once, and we're rerolling 1s, doesn't wound, and Foul Blight Spawn, hits twice, and hits still, no, sorry, hits 3 times
Yeah.
in total. And gets 1 wound.
3+ armor save.
Yep.
Made it.
And then the poor Terminator.
Yep.
2 attacks. 1 hit. Wounds on 5. Ooh, and that's -3
So
AP.
it's 6+ armor save. No. Down to 8 wounds. So that's it for the end of Space Marine Turn 3. You need to make a morale test over here for the champion. So he's
Indeed.
leadership 8.
And he lost 4.
And he lost 4 men, so he needs to not roll a 5 or a 6.
Oh, rolled off a 6. Phew. So he doesn't run
He
away.
stays there. And it's on to Death Guard turn 4.
So the brave champion has moved into cover, and he moves so you can see the Hellblasters. Terminator fell back, gets himself into the ruins, cover, and these two are stuck. They cannot get out of combat.
Yep.
So in the shooting phase, the champion, he's going to supercharge this time at the Hellblasters and watch this go wrong now that I decide to do it. Yeah, he kills himself.
He got a hit.
But he did get a hit, which wounded, and you're not in cover from there.
Yeah, no, 6+ armor save. Yes.
Of course.
So the champion dies.
Bloom.
And that will actually be another victory point for the Space Marines, so it's 3 victory points to 1 at the moment.
Yep. And then no shooting, so straight into combat,
Yep.
and I get to pick Biologous Putrefy.
Yep.
Gets 3 hits, they wound on 4s, re-rolling 1s, 2 wounds.
3+ armor saves. Failed 1, so a regular intercessor will take a wound. I'll put it on that guy. These 3 will attack the Foul Blight Spawn, and the other one will fight the Biologous Putrefy.
Okay.
So we've got 7 attacks on the Foul Blight Spawn. Hitting on 3s, 6 hits. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds.
His saves, he makes.
And the other intercessor on the Biologous Putrefy gets 2 hits. Doesn't get any wounds. The Foul Blight Spawn gets to fight back.
3 attacks.
Death to the False Emperor.
3 hits.
Yep.
2 wounds.
3+ armor saves. Net failed 1. Intercessor goes down. So
Your
yeah,
turn.
that's Death Guard turn 4 onto Space Marines turn 4.
Yeah.
Hellblasters are going to turn. The Dreadnought, I guess, will stay where it is. And so will the Reaver. We'll try and kill that Terminator. Straight to the shooting phase, I guess. Start the Reaver. Throw a shock grenade at the Terminator. D3 shots. 3. He's rolled 3 every time. And he got a hit. What a waste of all those good rolls. And then the Hellblasters will overcharge at him. So Sergeant doesn't blow up but gets a hit. Other Reaver gets 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1.
Invulnerable save, made it.
And then the Dreadnought's just going to put everything into the Terminator. So he will have cover
Yes, he will.
because he is in the area terrain. So Heavy Flamer, 1 automatic hit. He didn't wound. Frag Storm Launchers, 6 shots. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. Oh, they all hit. Wounding on 5s. 2.
2+, because of cover. Yep.
And Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon, 12 shots. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. 2 goes away. It's 10 hits. Wounding on 4s.
Not
But
bad.
it's 2+ armor save because you got the cover bonus.
I have, and
You
I made
made
all of
all.
them.
Oh, pistols. Yes, the intercessors will all fire their pistols at the Foul Blight Spawn. So you got 3 shots, hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound.
4+ save. Oh no, 3+. Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah,
regular
not
bolt
heavy
pistols.
bolt pistols. He made it.
They're regular bolt pistols. And then in the charge phase, the Dreadnought will declare a charge on the Terminator.
Yep. Ooh,
3 inches.
It's enough. Yeah.
Yes, easy enough, yeah. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 2s. Yep, 2 wounds. Right, come on.
Right. On average, I shouldn't do
Yeah.
that.
Then the intercessors will fight.
Yeah. Well, he's on the pipe.
Yeah, so
so
we'll try and trap him on the pipe, basically. And this
yeah,
guy's on the pipe.
He's
as
on the
well.
pipe as well, so you are keeping them all in.
So we'll all fight the Foul Blight Spawn. 7 attacks, hitting on 3s. 5 hits, wounding on 5s. 2 wounds. Come on, kill him.
Oh, save. Disgustingly resilient. Yeah, he's got
There we go. Finally, killed one of the characters.
pile in,
And
presumably.
we'll trap the.
Well, and then the Putrefy gets to hit back.
Okay.
You can't be cocked against another die, honestly. 3 hits, and that's the False Emperor. Oh,
He's
4
mad.
hits.
He's mad.
Yeah, you hurt his buddy. Oh, he's only got 1
2
wound.
wounds, 3+ armor saves.
No, it was only 1 wound. You made both
I made-
saves anyway.
yeah.
Can the Terminator take the Dreadnought into its bracket as a sort of moral victory? Not with that, he
No.
can't.
So that's the end of Space Marines turn 4.
Yeah.
Death Guard turn 5, or.
Yeah, but at this point I'm going to concede the game
Yeah,
because
the Biologous Putrefy is stuck there.
the Space Marines are up. Let's see, you've killed 3 units and you've got First Blood.
Yeah,
so
so
Space Marines have got 4 victory points.
to
Death
1.
Guard have got 1 for killing the librarian.
And, even if you move the Terminator, the Hellblasters still hold up.
So you can hold at least one of these objectives, which are worth 3 each, so there's no way I can possibly
And
win.
I mean, I could advance the Reaver,
Yeah.
probably get into range of that objective
And I mean,
as well.
this Terminator's living a charmed life, but he probably wouldn't survive another turn. Yeah, so that's definitely a Space Guard. Space Marine victory.
Yep. We'll recap that for you now. So that was the mission for issue 30 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. How did you think that went?
Well, obviously, not very well, but I don't think we can say either of us rolled particularly well or badly this one. For the first time in a while, we can't blame the dice. I think I made some mistakes. I think, firstly, that Rhino should have fired its smoke launchers in its first shooting phase rather than shooting its guns, which didn't do anything, because then you wouldn't have overcharged your Hellblasters at it, it wouldn't have taken as much damage from shooting. In the event, you made the charge with the Dreadnought, which was pretty big, and you did something like 8 or 9 damage to it in melee, so you would have killed it anyway. Even if I'd had the smoke launchers go off, it wouldn't have made any difference. But, as a general tactic, that was a mistake, I think, to do that. Second mistake I made, I think, was shooting at the Dreadnought and attacking the Dreadnought in melee with the Terminators. I should have just probably accepted I have nothing to deal with that Dreadnought except maybe the Foul Blight Spawn, and focused on getting victory points for killing your squishier units. Because I did 5 wounds to the Dreadnought overall over the course of the game, but all those wounds could have gone on Space Marines.
Yeah, you could have killed off the Reavers. I would say this is actually slightly unbalanced because you don't have anything to really deal with the Dreadnought. I mean, the Terminators can damage it with their weapons, but they only do 1 damage at a time.
And if they don't roll as well as I did for my invulnerable saves, they just get squished.
They did well, and they're just going to get smushed.
Yeah.
And you have the Foul Blight Spawn, who can do something, possibly, but he's not exactly reliable.
Yeah, and you did well as, once again, to making sure he didn't get to shoot this game. Obviously, getting out the Rhino, he couldn't have got out of that Rhino anywhere that wouldn't have put him in range of that Dreadnought consolidating into it, because I did check. Just because of the size of his base, the size of the Rhino.
Yeah, you could have got it. And then they were just tied up for the rest of the game.
Yeah, with intercessors that they couldn't really hurt that much in melee.
Yeah, I mean, you were winning. I think you did kill 2 of them. The intercessors did have a really hard time because they're not exactly decent amount of units, but they were just there to hold you up. Yeah, and as well, I actually outnumber you.
Yeah, you do, which is actually rare.
Because you don't have the Poxwalkers, so you don't really have anything to screen any of your more valuable units.
Yeah.
Because if you had the Poxwalkers, you just have them in front of the Rhino, or near the Rhino, so the Dreadnought couldn't charge it. The Librarian did pretty poorly again. Needs to redeem himself. He got another Perils.
Yeah, he only did 1 wound to himself, but then that was my one bit of success. Actually, that charge with the Terminators, they just hacked him to pieces in one fight phase. That was actually, they rolled pretty well on that occasion. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, apart from your Librarian, I think all your units performed pretty well.
Yeah, the Hellblasters actually got like a full round of killing 4 Plague Marines in one go.
Yeah, that was a good round of shooting, and the champion nearly ran away.
Yeah, and having one of the rare morale tests that we have to make. I don't think anyone's actually failed a morale test yet, but actually had to make one.
But occasionally they come up, yeah. Yeah, your intercessors did what you asked of them.
The Reavers actually rolled pretty poorly for their armour saves as well, but they did just spend the whole game throwing shot grenades at your Terminators and annoying you.
Which, given you were charging them with the Dreadnought, wasn't as big a deal as it could have been. I mean, the Foul Blight Spawn being tied up meant that their primary use was not necessary. So, but yeah, even so, shooting those Terminators. Oh, actually, I just realised, I think in the latter stages of the game, we forgot the Terminators with -1 to hit in melee because of the shot grenade, because they were always being shot grenaded. We remembered the first time,
possibly,
but later on we forgot. But hey, they didn't do any. They did a couple of wounds to the Dreadnought. It wouldn't have made any difference to the outcome.
Yeah, it was still in its top bracket.
And yeah, my Terminators did roll pretty well for their armour saves and invulnerable saves, so they survived, but as I said, they weren't making an impact on the game because after they killed the Librarian, they were just chipping away at the Dreadnought.
Yeah, just being chased around by the Dreadnought.
So they didn't even get to do much shooting. Another thing I could have done differently is I could have put the Plague Marines inside the Rhino, then sent them all off on some kind of mission near an objective, but the danger, of course, is just that marauding Dreadnought.
You would run the risk of putting all your eggs literally in one basket if you put all your non-Terminator units in the Rhino.
Yeah. Well, if you blew it up, I would be rolling more dice for people dying, but at least I could be taking away Plague Marines rather than characters, so that wasn't...
But I think, considering that you outnumber you can't really afford to take any losses.
No, I think that's probably true. The resilience of my units only goes so far when you're outnumbered. With the volume of fire you can put on them, I fail saves eventually. And yeah, you did well as well too. I think in terms of target selection, like you knew the intercessors could eventually chip away at those characters and keep them tied up, and the Hellblasters were firing at Plague Marines that they could take down quite easily and that kind of thing. Dreadnought was unlucky probably not to do more wounds to Terminators with the number of dice you threw at them.
The sheer number of shots.
Yeah, should have probably got a few more there, but it didn't matter in the end.
I mean, I probably could have got it into combat with the Plague Marines, but I decided to bring it back to fight the Terminators.
Yeah, and then...
I think was the right decision.
I think it was, especially because you then killed off the Plague Marines with the Hellblasters anyway. Yeah. They could have got onto that objective, but then I think you probably, if you hadn't killed them earlier, you probably would have just blasted them off the board once they came out into the open anyway. the battle zone rule, the once per game ignoring cover shooting. Oh no, it did come up with shooting those Plague Marines because it meant I didn't get to make any saves against your 4 wounds, so that was quite big. Oh, I think I might have got a couple of wounds through on a Reaver with my use of it. It would have been better to use it with my Plague Marines shooting at somebody. And the Biologist Putrefier did absolutely nothing, as usual. In one of his rare appearances, he didn't have a chance.
To be fair, he didn't have a chance to do anything.
No. I didn't get to do the special grenade combo between the two characters. Would have potentially taken out a couple of intercessors if I'd used that, so shame it didn't get to pull that off. But again, kudos to you for shutting those 2 characters down.
And yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say about this mission. So if you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe, and leave any comments if you've played these missions as well. Tell us how you got on, what you think about them. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.